the best skip tracing resources for wholesaling real estate. Let's talk about it, guys. What's up? This is Mike Hill, the Wholesaling Titan here. And today I'm answering this pretty common question, which is, what is the best service for skip tracing? Now, skip tracing is essentially how we get in touch with motivated sellers and owners of distressed real estate so we can flip those houses. Now, there are different services, different resources, different websites out there. Some are free and some are paid. They've all got pros and cons and with varying degrees of success. So in order to best answer this question, I'm going to share a quick excerpt from a recent training I did that compares several of these services. So I'm going to show you what I use. I'm going to give you my personal thoughts, and I'm going to show you some independent research with regards to data accuracy and hit rates. And most importantly, I'm going to give you advice on where you should start, because that answer won't necessarily be the same for everyone. Now, before we jump into that clip, please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It just really helps the channel. Can't tell you guys how much I appreciate it, so thank you for that. And also, please keep in mind that this is an excerpt from a longer training series on how to find motivated sellers for wholesaling real estate. And if you'd like to watch the rest of that training, please stay tuned to the end of this video for more instructions, and I'll leave some links for you down in the description below. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this clip. So today we're going to be talking about contacting sellers. Okay. So, yesterday we built our lists out, and now we have to get in touch with these people. So what we're going to be doing is skip tracing. You guys are probably familiar with this. The name comes from, traditionally, this is people who are out on bail and then they've skipped town. And so it was typically employed by, debt collectors, process servers, bails, bondsmen, law enforcement, detectives, anything like that. But for our purposes, wholesalers. So what we're trying to do, once we establish that someone is motivated, they want to sell, we got to contact these people. Okay. We have to talk to them. So today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and do that and give you some actual tools, some options that you guys can pursue. Okay, so skip tracing. I'm going to go kind of in order of based on pricing, right? And just like choosing your strategy, that's going to depend on where you are. Now, typically, not always, but you usually get what you pay for. So not always, but a lot of times when you're paying for things, you're going to get better results. And I always recommend, guys, it's worth it to pay. Sometimes you think, like I've recommended stuff to my students and they haven't used it in some cases. And they're like, well, your system that you're recommending is $100 more a month. And it's like, okay, well, bro, you saved $100. And this other student that used it, they spent the $100 and they made a $10,000 check. Okay. So you always want to look at things, not so much as the raw cost, but look at it in terms of the return on your investment. On that note, so we're going to start off with some free and then kind of go into some paid stuff. But on that note, I get this question a lot. How about Fiverr? I do not recommend using Fiverr. I know those services are out there and similar websites. However, there's just no way to really verify where the information is coming from. So we want this stuff to be coming from reputable sources. And those people could be using reputable sources. They may be using another system they're paying for or something like that, but you don't know. I mean, for all you know, the reviews could be inaccurate. They could be faked. I mean, I don't know a lot about the back of that stuff, but I like certainty. Okay. So next, a free source that you can use. A lot of you guys are probably familiar with this, truepeoplesearch.com. If some of you guys are old enough to remember like the white pages, just collection of data. And actually for a free site, it's actually pretty good. Okay. So if you are looking for someone, you can search here, pop the address in. And it's going to take a little bit more time, right? This is a manual process. You're going at it one by one. Sometimes you have multiple results that you might have to sift through. But, like I always say, there's an inverse relationship between time and money. The idea is to use money to buy back our time and be more efficient. But in the beginning, there's seasons for everything. Sometimes you just have to put in that sweat equity. And eventually, the good thing about this business, like you don't have to be successful at it for years till you start to see the return on your investment. Literally one deal, and then you can start investing in these paid resources. And if you do it properly and in the right order, again, it's got to be a process to it. You can't just buy everything and expect it to like magically work. But if you do this stuff and implement these things in the right order, then every time you spend money, your business is going to start building. There's a lot of momentum. It's like that snowball going down the hill. And then there are free trials that you guys can utilize. We'll circle back to that and jump into those in just a moment. However, I will say, you have to start where you are. And so sometimes that means taking advantage of things like, free trials, and stuff like that. But you don't want to have this mentality of always trying to do things the cheapest or the freest. Usually that means it's going to take you much longer to get to your goal. And it really does something to your mindset where you're like always searching for the free thing, or, oh, I can't afford it. And you don't want those thoughts going through your head for so many reasons. Some of them, they've proven how the brain works and neuroscience. And then on the other side, you have law of attraction and energetic principles. So whether you are a believer or not, it doesn't matter, on both sides. That stuff will really affect you, impact your business, both on a tangible level and then even with mindset stuff, some of the intangibles. But True People Search right here, if you're going at it completely free, great place to start. Next, for skip tracing, this is a site I don't really hear about very often. This is melissa.com. So again, this is an aggregator. It's not a traditional skip tracing site the way some of the other ones I'm going to show you are in just a second. But again, this is similar to basically like a True People search, but you can do it in bulk. So similar to White Pages. And actually the results, I've used this in the past. It's not what I'm using right now, but I've gotten some very good results from there. But if you are on a budget, you want to check this out. What you'll do is you'll upload your list of names and addresses. And then you'll see the search features, and you can see them right here. Even though the screenshot's a little bit small, this is the information they pull, right? And it comes from various places, databases like LexisNexis, and then, Google. Every time you put your information in there, right? Nothing's private anymore. So addresses, emails are in there, phone numbers, and it's very, very inexpensive. So when you first sign up, you get 1,000 free credits. Additional credits are available for purchase. They're $3 for 1,000 credits. And then phone number lookups are 4 credits and emails are 10 credits. So guys, it's very, very inexpensive. So if you are on that limited budget, feel free to go ahead and use that. If you want to go directly to the screenshot here where you can just upload your stuff, this is the website here. I know it's a little bit messy of a URL there, but what I'll do is I can't click on it now because I'm in the presentation. At the end, I'll copy it and paste it into the chat so you guys can check that out. All right. So next, ReaFax, this is what I use. Okay. So ReaFax is really cool. The results are really, really good. I'm very, very pleased with my skip tracing. And the nice thing is it's wrapped up and it is included in your monthly membership. So again, that's if you guys are using the discount code and it's available in your market. Very simple to use. Their instructions on their website. But the thing I like about it is that it's all integrated. There is a case, and as I told you guys yesterday, some CRMs are better than others, or they do certain things better. And there are some trade-offs. So for example, the dialer system within ReaFax is not the best dialer. It's got some issues there. They're always making improvements to the system, but objectively, there are better dialers out there. But one thing I like is having everything in the same place, right? Because a lot of times when you're using this system here and one system for sending emails and one system that's capturing your leads and things like that, different websites, you got Carrot here and you got different dollar system and then you're pulling your data. You have to be very organized, very careful. You can still do it. Absolutely can be done. But what happens is you allow more space where certain things can kind of fall through the cracks. With ReaFax and using one CRM for essentially everything is in the system, right? So like I told you guys, a lot of times, you'll make an offer on a property. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you're doing that deal. That happens, and that's great. But a lot of times, it might be another 6 months, right? And then you're talking to someone, and you're like, I don't remember this. And then instead of going through all these systems, like within my CRM, I can click 6 months back. Oh, this is the conversation we had. This is what we talked about. These are our numbers, and it's all right there. So that's why I really, really like this. The way it works, basically, you have 500 skip traces. And again, if you're building your list inside the system, they're going to be much higher converting than if you're just using, let's say, a government list. So you won't need to do as many skip traces in that sense, but they do 500 included. And then if you add on what's called an assistant account, every account is, and you get an additional 500, you can do an unlimited number of those. And that also gives other people, when you're using VAs, access to your system, for example. And then that works out 500 for every $50. So, you're looking at like 10 cents a skip. Next on here, I put these on here because these are very popular. A lot of you guys might already be on PropStream, or you might be, let's start with PropStream. A lot of you guys are on PropStream. The question mark's there. I just want to give you guys the pricing, 12 cents a skip. Now, I don't use this. PropWire, again, this is new. It's free. We looked at it earlier this week. They offer skip tracing as well, 10 cents a skip. I have not used these personally, but I know some of you guys might have the question. So I just want to put the pricing out there. I have heard some criticism. I've seen, obviously, right, reviews are biased and it might depend on your market, but a lot of folks have not been very pleased, at least on the forum wise, but you would expect, reviews a lot of times tend to skew a little bit more on the negative side. But the pricing, just for your knowledge, is right there. Or if you're already in that system, you might want to experiment with it, play with it, do it for a month. Worst case, you spend, $100, right? And then you kind of see what it is. But those are there just in case you already on those systems, or if you don't have a CRM, using PropWire for all the free stuff, you find a really good lead. It's convenient to just click the box. It's very easy on their site. You just check the box and then boom, 10 cents, you can do it. All right. So now let's talk about some of maybe the bigger guys, right? And so when you see this asterisk here, right, this is independently verified. Now, here's what I mean by that. My mentor, Lex, actually is a part of this mastermind group. It's $25,000 for the year. And within this group, they have been trying to verify the data. So they've used these different skip tracing systems to come up with not the numbers that the company has found, but their personal experiences, right? And so that's the other benefit, right? I get 25K of information just through my network, which is why the networking is so important. In this case, my mentor. So even all the money I've paid, like I already have a return on investment instantly. So these are the numbers that came from their independent verification here. Skip Genie, this is 96% accuracy rate. The pricing for that, $99 a month for unlimited skip tracing. And then it's 19 cents per record. But that's going to be the highest in terms of the accuracy rate. So again, if you're doing 1,000 records a month, that's $190 plus 99. So you're looking about $289 in terms of your spend. Next, we've got Elite Sherpa. So they came up with an 86% accuracy rate. Now, this is more ideal for experienced wholesalers, really doesn't cater to beginners. I didn't put the pricing on here, but it's actually up on my blog. So it's like about $400 a month, I believe, something like that. And then they have a price. They kind of, it's more for bulk stuff, right? Batch leads, this might be one of the more popular ones a lot of people talk about. Their testing came up with 75% accuracy rate. So obviously that's notably lower. Some of you guys are already in there. So again, if you're already in the system, you can verify that for yourself. Now, Batch does offer that free trial. So if you're in that position where you're just getting started, you might want to take advantage of that, just so maybe you can get, one, the practice in, and two, so you can start building up some momentum, maybe get a deal out of that, and then you can maybe move to something like Skip Genie. The Batch Leads charges 20 cents per record. And then the last one is actually very, very highly recommended to me by a good buddy of mine. This is Direct Skip. I'm going to be trying them out. I have not used them yet. Like I said, I'm very content with my system. This one was not independently verified on this it's not experiment. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is, but in this research, right? But they are self-reported as having a 90% accuracy rate with a 98% hit rate in terms of bringing back the records that you're looking for. But the good thing is these guys have a free trial as well. So if you go in, you can get 500 free records, and you can check it out and see what might depend on your market, but see how those results work out for you. So I'm going to leave this here for a second. If you guys just want to take a screenshot, but those are the accuracy rates, which again is going to be really, really helpful for you guys. And Direct Skip is 15 cents a record. So obviously, it's going to be cheaper than Batch Leads. Okay. Another 5 seconds, any screenshots or anything like that, and we will keep it moving. All right. And guys, don't forget about Google. Google is the world's largest, search engine, right? And sometimes you'd be amazed at things that you can find. I mean, I'll go to Google, next thing you know, I have someone's LinkedIn, and then I've looked up people's resumes, right? Resumes pop up there. So feel free to do some Google searching. And sometimes, guys, it's about how creative, how diligent you can be, but also at the same time, it doesn't mean you have to find every single one. Remember, this is a numbers game. We never try to force deals, right? So if something's not there, just move to the next one. Not really a huge deal there. Also, something that I'd like to mention is that I get a lot of questions like, Mike, I'm getting bad numbers and bad leads, and this is not connecting. It's like, dude, well, you can't change that, right? So once I gave you the accuracy. Once you have your skip tracing, you're worried about the small percentage. I mean, even the batch lead in this study, 75%, significantly lower, but at the same time, you're focusing on 25, 20, or in some of these things, the 10% that's not there, instead of focusing on the other 80, 90%. Okay. So stop letting these small obstacles or thinking too far ahead stop you. You just got to keep moving forward until you get there. Okay. So it's like when you're making offers, I always tell people, it's like, listen, imagine you're in a room with 100 people, and I say to you, listen, and this is going to go for cold calling as well. This is a good mental model to keep in mind. And I say, okay, so a room of 100 people, I've given one of these people $10,000. And if you ask them for it, they will give it to you. All right. So let's say you ask first person. You're like, no, I don't have that. Second person, I don't know what you're talking about. Third person says, fuck off, get out of my face, I hate you. Right. What a lot of people do is by the time they get to 6, 10 people, they say, oh, this doesn't work. And they quit and give up. And my thing is like this. Listen, if I got to talk to 99 people, I'm talking to 99 people because I know at a certain number, it's a sure thing. It's going to happen. Okay. So just make sure that, if you're getting some bad stuff, obviously, if you're using maybe a different system that I haven't mentioned here, over time, like I said, nothing's black and white. If it's really bad, you're going to move to another system. But if things don't overly focus, right, on things that are not working, focus on what is working.
So thanks for checking out that small clip, and I hope that gives you some clarity on some of the skip tracing resources that are available to you. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is just one small clip from a larger training I did that focused solely on lead generation. Now, as a wholesaler, your business will live and die by your ability to generate leads. And in the full training, I show you how you can guarantee at least 100 leads in 5 days for free. And while I show you the specific websites and lead sources and how to do it without spending any money, it's kind of geared towards my newbies or people that are budget sensitive, I also talk to you about the processes involved to ensure that your lead generation pipeline stays full and that it brings in new prospects each and every month. So these are things like how you set up your schedule and what you should prioritize and do on a daily basis, and some of the aspects of setting up your wholesaling business that are often overlooked and one of the biggest reasons of failure. So the training is broken up into 6 lessons that are not on my YouTube channel, but you can check them out on my website at wholesalingwithmike.com/100leads. And I'll leave that link down in the description below as well. So thanks again for watching. Please leave any questions, any comments, any recommendations for future videos in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.